morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and it's the 3rd of July. This is our 4th of July show on Just Plain Living.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
Put that shot back on Jim.
Isn't that a
Look
great
at that.
tie?
Look at
I
his
love that
headdress.
tie.
We're going to have to move
Where'd
that.
you find that, John?
Oh, this thing.
Looks like Jimmy's got a bow
Looks
in
like
his
he got
hair.
a bow in his hair. That's all right.
That's something that's happened most of our career.
Yeah, we'll get
in-
Julia to
into
move that
television.
camera over where it belongs.
That's it.
And
There
it
we
won't
go.
be there. It won't be there. How y'all doing?
We're
Good.
good. Big
Great.
happenings this afternoon all over
The world.
all over the world, but
Yes.
here in Tullahoma.
Yeah,
3 o'clock.
what happened is, and I think it's really pretty cool, the 4th of July is on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's in the middle of the week, and that doesn't happen that often. So in other way, all the way over there where the girl's in the middle. Thank you. There you go. A little more yet. We'll get this.
Okay.
A lot of people are took off on Friday.
Right.
Nashville said there was no traffic in Nashville Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then they'll
6
go ahead.
days.
Yeah.
And they'll
6
probably go
days.
into the next
Might go
weekend.
into the next week,
Yeah,
you
right.
know. And so with 4th of July being on Wednesday and not close to a weekend, the city of Tullahoma, I guess, as a lot of places, decided to have their celebration on the 3rd.
Which I think is wise.
Well, but what that does is that lets everybody celebrate and watch the fireworks tonight, and then tomorrow on the
They can
4th of
sleep all
July,
day.
they can have a celebration at their
Right.
home.
Sure.
They
They
can
can.
go get on their boat and ride on the lake and do what they want to do.
Grill their steaks.
Yeah, and if
Grill
you're,
it.
if you're watching this in the 6 o'clock or 6:30 time slot on Tuesday, you still got time to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Because the fireworks is
If
going to
it's
happen about
Thursday,
9.
it's over.
Yeah, if you're watching this on Thursday, yeah, it's already
Forget it.
over. Yeah.
I hope you had a good time.
Right.
Yeah, but no, and I mean the city of Tullahoma's having stuff going on all day over there today.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hamburgers and hot dogs and games and bands
And the music starts, I think, at 3.
3
Three,
o'clock.
yeah.
Our buddy
and
Chase Clanton.
and it goes beyond 9 o'clock, where the fireworks are at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Or around 9 o'clock.
Right.
Good and dark.
And that's an hour and 15-minute show usually.
Well, fireworks itself, they can't afford to do an hour and 20 minutes. 20 minutes, they're going to blow about $30,000.
It takes long.
Yeah.
It's about an hour show. But then the music,
They add the music,
big
yeah.
bands, tribute bands, I think one of them, the headliner, starts after the fireworks.
After the fireworks, yeah.
So that'd be stuff going on
There's
over there
stuff
all
going
night.
on, I think, till 11 or so.
Oh, yeah, and it's great.
and
great.
it's wonderful that the city goes to all the trouble to pull this off.
Yeah, it sure is. It's
They
going to be a
do.
great event.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, they do what they do.
They deserve an attaboy.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Tullahoma, attaboy. We're lucky to live where we do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We're lucky to be living, period.
Exactly.
When you're
The
talking
two of
about-
us?
the 3
Yeah.
of us are
Yeah.
lucky to be
Well,
with.
yeah, that's probably true.
We have a
made
good
it.
show
We
today.
made it. Yeah, we do.
We have some kids from Oliver that are going to do some stuff for us and talk about the show that's coming up this
That's
weekend
right.
at South Jackson.
That's at South Jackson
I think-
Civic
Do we
Center.
have a dog on today?
I don't know whether we have a dog or not.
I
You
think
see
the
a dog
shelter's
out
coming
there?
on. Maybe not, but
I don't know.
I think the animal shelter is coming on.
Animal
or
shelter might
something,
be
and
coming on. There's
Hands
all
on
kinds
Science
of stuff.
Center.
I don't know what else is coming on. We got a friend coming in that called me that I'm going to talk to, Ann Bear Marshall, who is coming in from Nashville to talk about the celebration and the party fundraiser that they will have for the Joe Moon Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's she wants to describe that and about the ends. It's a whole lot more than what a whole lot of people think
Yes.
that's going on there.
There
And
it
Is
The
that,
dog.
is that coming up tomorrow? Or
it
pretty
might
soon?
be this weekend as
Yeah, I was
well.
thinking
Some
it
part of
might
this
have been,
weekend as
yeah.
well. So
Right.
she'll fill us in on all that information
Right.
when she gets here. So she called me the other day, called Candy, and then she called me, and she wanted to come from Nashville, and because that's very close to her, and she worked with Joe here in Tullahoma at the Parks and Rec, and I think she either works for Nashville Parks and Rec or the state.
She works for the state and is a graduate of THS with my son, so they're
Right.
real good friends. And when he made general, she came.
Yeah. So
to
she came today
Washington.
and called me and wants to talk to me and about this because Joe and I were classmates, and so we're gonna sit down
That's a
and
good
have a
thing to do.
conversation about
That's
that
great.
and That's good, and we just want everybody to be safe over this 4th of July. I know we've talked about it with the police chief and different ones, but a couple of things. Don't drive anything when you're drunk.
Oh,
A car, a
That's a
boat, a bicycle.
Your lawnmower.
Exactly.
Your lawnmower. Don't be like George Jones. They'll arrest you for riding a lawnmower drunk too.
Right.
So don't do that. If you shoot fireworks, which everybody's going to be shooting fireworks, pick up your mess.
exactly.
You know, because if you're on a street or on a block, on a corner, on a cul-de-sac, and you're shooting all this stuff off in the neighborhood, don't just walk away and go inside and go to sleep. Well, you got to do that. But tomorrow morning when you get up, go police up all that stuff.
Yeah, and don't
'cause
be firing
it's
stuff
very
off
messy.
into your neighbor's yards.
Into
unless-
people's houses and
yeah,
stuff like
unless you
that.
have permission.
And
And into piles of
If-
dead grass.
if you have small dogs, about this size dog, they don't like this stuff.
Listen, no.
Take them inside.
dog
There's not
likes
a
it.
dog in the world,
Right.
Great Danes or whatever, that likes all that noise.
Take them inside.
They're going to leave home.
Because they're going to leave somewhere, and all of a sudden somebody had to pick them up on the side of the road, call the animal department, or call us and say,
It's a good
lost
idea to-
dog, put a lost dog
It's a good
thing
idea
on
to
television.
keep your dogs inside.
In the
Yeah.
house. In the house, right. Plus, it's so hot they don't need to be outside
And your
anyway.
cats.
Well, cats need to be on, as far as I'm concerned, they need to be on a leash just like a dog. How come a dog can't
Have you ever
run? but
tried to put a cat on a leash?
Well, how come a dog can't run around in a neighborhood and
That's like trying
can
to give a
crawl
cat a
all over
bath.
your freshly washed car? Huh? What's up with that? We don't have feral dogs running around. We got feral cats running around. Cat leash.
You're fixing to alienate and
Cat people?
Yeah, and notice I said that old Southern term. You're fixing.
You're fixing.
Fixing.
You're fixing to do it.
alienate a bunch of people out here in our
Your
audience.
mom and them's going to be mad.
Mom and them's mad
That's
already.
right.
No,
Right.
Mom and them's got dogs. Did y'all have cats on the farm? I guess you did in the
Are you
barn
kidding?
and everything.
You always have cats on the farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You always
right.
have cats on the farm. You
But
keep,
they're not in the house.
well, sometimes. It depends
When they
on.
bring a rat in to cook.
Sometimes you have a goat on the porch. I mean,
Yeah,
when you live in the country, there's a lot of things
Goat
that
on
happen.
the porch.
Yeah.
We used to have a goat that its mother died, I think, and it was just a little
Poor
goat.
baby.
And poor thing, and he got to eating the clothes off the clothesline and tromping across the porch. They become unmanageable.
They do. They do. Goats do. And every now and then they get out.
we
Yeah.
used to have we had a couple of cats when I lived in the country, and but then I got to eating the chickens, and my grandmother.
Cats eat a chicken?
Yeah, they were killing the
Oh, my
chickens.
gosh.
And my grandmother eliminated them in a
There you
way that
go.
I never forget.
That surprises me.
I mean, it's just.
That really surprises
She
me.
didn't chop their heads off like a chicken, did she?
She hit them in the head with a hammer. And I
Hit 'em
wished
in the head with a
I
hammer.
wished I'd
Listen,
not seen
cats
that.
are good to have around the house because they keep the snakes
Absolutely.
at
Snakes
bay
and rats and-
rats
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everything.
and odd
else.
things. Yeah, I have a cat.
Good. No, I'm not against cats. I just think cats need to stay on your property just like a dog has to.
Well, sure. Yeah,
You can't, they don't need to be running wild.
I know. Nor do you or me.
Nor do
neither.
I. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a cool cat. Turn a hound dog into a real cool cat. The only one thing as good as that.
So are you filming tonight? Are you guys filming?
Andrew, Lord
Andrew's
Andrew
film?
of Todd's going to be over there.
He'll
That's
be
right.
out-
That's right.
It's going to be hot. I remember talking to Andrew about that.
John and I have
He'll be out
reached
all
the
day.
status in our life where
You don't have to do
if
it.
we're lucky, we can pass that along to some of the younger guys.
It's
in
not
the
really
staff.
status
Yeah,
for. It's
well,
not
we
status.
don't have status, but
Peggy's the only reason we have any credibility at all.
I'm just a little leery, and we're talking about Andrew and Philip and those guys, but I'm just a little leery when they realize about the day, when the day comes, that they realize that Bonnaroo is really not that much fun.
They'll get there.
They've been doing this, they'll go over there and stay the entire time for at least
have
the
a good
last
time.
12 or 13 years and think that's good, that's big fun.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that one of these days, before too long, they're going to realize that may not be as much fun as
I
they've been
think
thinking
they're
it
already
is.
spending more time at the campsite than
Yeah,
they
you
are
could
at
be
the
right.
tent.
You could be right.
Out on the grounds. Hey, 4th of July, remember, be safe. Don't put a firecracker in your hand and set it off. Particularly if you close it, it'll blow your fingers off. Don't do that. Don't shoot them at each other like we used to do when we were kids.
And remember to be proud to be an American.
Be proud to be an
That's
American.
the most important thing about
It really
this
is.
holiday.
And
Yes.
sometimes I think that gets lost in the process.
Okay, Philip, put her up. Here's Loku number 171.
Okay.
Did I catch you? Give him some time. All right. Well, this is Loku 171. Burgers, dogs, baked beans, and slaw. Backyard beer, family and friends. Veterans in service caps telling old tales. As the red, white, and blue flies on tennis shoes, swim trunks, and T-shirts. When the sun goes down, fireworks fill the air. To God bless the USA. Independence Day.
Independence Day. And
Independence
we need to
Day. So I had a
cherish that.
picture of that, but sorry. You'll see it at another juncture. But what we want to do is just have we're getting ready to have a great show today, and we want you folks to have a great 4th of July.
Yes, we do.
We're just proud, like Peggy said, one thing we all are is proud to be American. And what a wonderful place to be, no matter what's happening, no matter where else you could go, it ain't as good as this. And
That's
if you
a
look
fact.
back, if you're having a problem with the way things are happening in our society today, if you look back, it's happened before. Same type stuff has happened before in some other regime or control of our country, and we made it through it, folks, and we'll make it through this, don't you think?
I hope so.
I hope so.
We will. And we'll make it back to you in just a minute right after these commercial messages.
5 dealerships, 7 car brands, 1 big clearance sale.
Russell Barnett must make room for incoming summer shipments.
Save hundreds,
Even thousands.
from original list on all new and over 800 pre-owned vehicles. Every vehicle is marked down for immediate clearance.
No reasonable offer refused.
All credit applications will be accepted for immediate delivery.
Don't miss the big spring clearance sales event going on right now at the Russell Barnett dealerships, both Tullahoma and Winchester. And my question is, why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here today, and we have our friends from the Tullahoma Animal Shelter here. And what in the world's going on with you guys and dolls?
We've just been really busy. We've got a new shelter being built.
And that started. The construction has started.
The construction
on
has
that.
started.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so we're
And
so excited.
How long has that been? We've been working on that about 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Several years.
But I mean, the plans have been there for
a long time.
Long time.
And we've finally
just
made
been
it happen.
fundraising.
Yeah, fundraising and support of the community, and everybody just helping us and supporting us. We raised, the supporters actually raised 25% of the cost.
That's great.
Of the shelter.
That's
so
great.
I just appreciate everyone for standing behind us and knowing that we're going to have a better place for our animals.
Right.
Here shortly.
Shortly. And you know, just like this young man right here, who do you have with you today?
This is Lucy. She's about 2 years old. She's a sweet little thing. She's just a little bit scared right now.
Lucy,
Kinda
are
like
you
Sam.
scared?
Kind of like Sam.
Well, Sam's a good guy. Lucy, you good girl. I know a buddy, except he lives up in Connecticut. Just lost his longtime companion, Lucy. Maybe we need to ship you to Connecticut. Reckon she'd like it up there in the cold?
Oh yeah, we have dogs who are adopted from out go to other states all the time.
Well, you explain a little bit about the shelter. I mean, are you know, a lot of times, like when we built the jail, we built a new jail. New jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's already full.
Yeah.
New shelter. Are you going to have some space to expand there the way it is, or how's all that going to work for you? I know you're excited about it.
I am very excited because I've worked very hard.
I know.
And
all of you have.
Yeah, we have. But I personally never thought I'd see it during my time with the city. But, you know, everybody just got behind us, the supporters, the donators, and everybody's just been so wonderful to support us. And that's what made it happen.
Right,
Without that, it would have never happened.
But you're going to have enough room, though?
We're going to have 18 runs on each side.
Oh, that's great.
That's going to be a total of 36 runs. And we're going to have some nice quality stuff on the inside that hopefully is going to cut down on dog aggression, the panels where they cannot see each other. And then we're going to be also able to utilize the old building for the quarantine dogs, because we also be in animal control. We have vicious dogs. Not all dogs are friendly. So we do need a place to quarantine those away from the others. And, you know, this is our busiest week of the year. I don't know if you know that. You know that?
And why? Explain that to us.
Because the 4th of July and fireworks.
Dogs are everywhere, running wild.
Yes. Now, first of all, state law, dogs are required to wear their rabies tag. And I don't know if you know this, but that rabies tag, always keep your information current with your vet, because you can be traced by the number on that rabies tag.
Right.
Another tag with a name and phone number is also excellent. Microchip's a good backup, but these fireworks will scare the animals. I don't care if it's small dogs, big dogs.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yes, and even when you bring them inside, I mean, a lot of them are just terrified. So what I do that has worked well for me, and others it has worked well for as well, is, you know, turn the music up, turn the TV up a little louder than you normally would, and that's going to help comfort that animal, because a lot of them, I have a couple at home that just are terrified.
Do yours crawl under stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we had dogs, not our last dog, but we had dogs, little dogs like Cocker Spaniel and stuff. You'd go hunting them, they'd be under a bed, under the couch or something. They get in
under your arm,
far away as they can get from that stuff.
Yes. So, and you know, naturally they're scared, and we need to really, you know, take your animals in. And it's not just the day of July 4th. It's the surrounding days, the entire
started
week.
2 nights ago.
Yeah, so, you know, tomorrow, while everyone else is having a great time, we're going to be waiting for the calls. The dogs we're going to be picking up dogs.
Yeah, because they're just going to be running.
And if your dog comes up missing, please report it to your local animal control. And if you find a dog, don't take it out of town. We see that a lot where dogs are being moved. And if you're looking for your dog and you live in Tullahoma and it's lost, you're going to call me. You're not going to call Nashville or Bedford County or Winchester or even Coffee County. You're going to start with Tullahoma. And on that note, if you have lost a dog and you've checked with us, check some of these local shelters and rescues. It's not a bad idea. Sometimes people mean well. They don't mean any harm.
Right.
They see a dog on the side of the road, think it's been abandoned, and that's the first thing naturally we always think, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just gotten out of that fence at one time.
Well, and I would think that I don't know how much it goes on anymore. I haven't paid attention to it. But, you know, these people who steal small dogs for training other dogs to be fight dogs, I would imagine this week they're roaming around knowing that the pickings are going to be good.
Yes, and we haven't heard a lot about that recently. One of the big problems we have is with flippers.
Oh,
and a flipper is going to get that small dog, especially if it's not spayed or neutered. That dog's going to, if it's a purebred dog, it's going to go for a high cost. So they're going to go on a website and they're going to take your dog,
I didn't even think
and they're
about
going to sell these dogs. And if they're not microchipped or have ID, and you don't keep these dogs up, and you always say, well, you know, little JoJo, I always let him out, and he always comes back. Well, there's going to be that day he may not. So when you're out, when your animals are out, be out there with them.
Yep.
Have them
Coyotes.
contained. Yes.
We have a lot of coyotes
Yes.
around here, and those little dogs, they'll get those little dogs quick.
Yes, they will. So, you know, just...
That's some great advice.
Yeah, and I love my animals like family members. I guess I'm a little touched.
No,
but I think there's a lot of us out there like that. Yeah. So I really care about them, and if I'm not going to let my grandchild, which I have 5.
You're not old enough to have 5.
Yes, I am. If I'm not going,
you carry it well.
Well, thank you. I'm not going to let my grandchild, if I'm responsible for my grandchild, I'm not going to let that 3-year-old go out by himself.
Yeah.
Or even the 13-year-old. I'm going to know where that child's at.
Right.
And the same way with our furry family members.
Right. Hey, let me ask you a question before we leave. Do y'all have anything to do with helping get rid of the skunks around here? We got more skunks in this town than I believe, and I've lived here just about my whole life.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it. They're just waddling down the road.
And one of the primary reasons for skunks and raccoons, and we're not the experts. Let me point out that TWRA, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, is over the wildlife.
Yeah.
And they do have certain laws that you have to abide by as a citizen regarding the wildlife. And you know, you cannot relocate them. But cat food, if you have neighbors who have cat food out, I've told people that for years. One night at my house last year, I smelled a skunk, and I'm like, you left cat food out. So I had to pull the cat food out. The skunks went away. So check for cat food.
All right. Well, there's I don't know any cats around us. But
You never know.
Is there something you can like sprinkle around your property or your house or your outbuilding that they don't like, that they'll smell, and they go away?
We'll hand this one over to Sam.
There are products that they make.
Like a repellent, like a skunk repellent or something like that.
There's I can't recall the name of it. There's something that Tractor Supply sells.
Okay. Well,
and
that's not why y'all are here.
We'd
y'all
love
are
to
here
help
to get
you.
rid of Lucy. Y'all, somebody go get Lucy and go down to our animal shelter and visit these folks down there.
Yes.
And if you need to get rid of $1 or $2, go buy 4 or 5 bags of dog food, or buy a bowl, or buy some other things that y'all might need, collars, I don't know how. Buy something and take it down there and give it to them.
Do you want to hear something amazing?
We're out of time, but
okay.
Yes.
Our community is so wonderful. Our medical program works strictly off donations, and we spent close to $30,000 in the past year saving lives. And it's all because of fundraisers and donations in the community.
Thank you,
So thank all of you.
All right. We'll be right back.
When I was growing up in Coffee County, I saw firsthand the need for good paying jobs. When I was county mayor, working with other dedicated Coffee Countyans, we recruited $240.6 million in industry investment in Coffee County. 2,968 new good-paying jobs to Coffee County. I'm David Pennington, candidate for Coffee County Mayor, and I ask you to join me and help make Coffee County an even better place to live and work.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch. And John, we're here today for segment 88.
Blinky and Scratchy.
It's Blinky and Scratchy, and we're out 88 and out the gate.
This has nothing to do with the subject matter in which we're going to speak about.
We've had one recent that was a really good segue, so I guess we can balance that out with one that's going to be tough.
That'll be rare.
Yeah.
I've played around and played around this old town too long. Summer's coming on, yes, winter's coming on. I've laid around and played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on. Papa rides to Johnny, but Johnny can't come home. Johnny can't come home, no, Johnny can't come home. Papa rides to Johnny, but Johnny can't come home. He's been in the chain gang too long. I've laid around and played around this old town too long. Summer's almost gone, yes, winter's coming on. I've laid around and played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on. Yes, I feel like I've got to travel on. You know, I don't know if that's the right words to that song or not. I learned it years ago, and I didn't go over them too much, but maybe it's close enough that people can recognize it.
John, you're doing better holding on to the words of the songs you got questions about than the ones you're supposed to be able to handle.
Well,
you swallowed a word or two last week.
Alzheimer's is being held off at the moment.
That's it.
But anyway.
That's it. Classic mind. Classic mind.
We're going to talk. I think this is so interesting. Now, the folks out there might not think it's interesting, but when I was a young man, my brother played in a rock and roll group there in Murfreesboro at MTSU. You know, he was majoring in music in dance bands and this sort of thing, and while minoring in his academics there at MTSU. But anyway, they had a group called Thankful Taylor, and Thankful Taylor. I said, Jimmy, where'd y'all come up with that name? He said, well, it's a woman over here in Rutherford County that swallowed a snake one time, and I thought, how odd a name that is, Thankful Taylor. Well, I did a little research later on to find out that Thankful Taylor really was a lady who swallowed a snake. She was located near Christiana. A young woman lived with her mother, stepfather, east of Christiana in south
When would this
Rutherford
been,
County.
John? When does
it's in the late 1800s.
Okay.
And about 1870s.
And there's a picture of, that's her right there, John?
That's Thankful Taylor right there. She and this.
Is that before or after the snake?
Listen to this description of her.
Okay.
Said Thankful was a stringy girl in her teens who was not much in the way of looks, but hardworking and sturdy health.
Well, back in Christiana in those days, that'd probably be the strong and hard worker would probably be a better mate selection.
I mean, somebody could have written that a little nicer, I think. One day while taking a break from field work, now she was young, but kids started in the fields early in life. I think she might have had this situation at as early as age 6. She stopped at a spring and took water. You know, she was trying to refresh herself from a spring. Well, cup your hands or get your head down in there, take a drink, whatever. And she felt maybe something, a little string she might have swallowed. But several weeks later, Thankful began to suffer convulsions, interrupting her sleep and shocking family members by their increasing intensity. On recommendation from a sympathetic neighbor, Thankful drank strong liquor and wine, which produced even more convulsions. Some witnesses of her suffering...
That may have nothing to do with the snake and all with the whiskey.
reported seeing movement in her abdomen, even when the poor girl was still sleeping. Thankful was afflicted by a live snake in her stomach. Strangely enough, medical history tells us that reptiles growing inside the human body has happened years prior to this even. Probably still goes on today.
This is a classic. Keep going.
You don't know about this, do you, Pat?
No,
You're such a smart aleck. You think you know about everything. Dr. Bartley Newton White, Sr., a native bell buckle gentleman, was identified as a neighboring physician and a member of the Rutherford County Medical Society. From 6 years to these convulsive spells worsened, she was 13. That's when it became very serious. Several physicians had treated her over a period of years without a conclusive diagnosis or successful remedy. A severe attack had occurred in 1869 while attending Faithful in February of 1873, when the convulsions lasted for several days, but then seemed to be relieved. The attacks resumed in August of 73, and Dr. White noted the dark brown head of what he concluded was a tapeworm in Thankful's mouth.
Ooh.
When he attempted to extract it by thrusting a pointed instrument through it, the patient, Thankful, jerked his hand and his instrument away. This attack of convulsions persisted for weeks and months later. Later, a Dr. Joshua Berger from McMinnville examined her. Her symptoms were more violent, and movements of this reptile in her stomach could be easily seen. Dr. Berger and Dr. White brought in a third physician, a Dr. Whitson.
All right, now we've got Murfreesboro and McMinnville doctors working on this medical history. Yes.
This poor lady.
And where did the third man come from? Is that noted in
I don't know if
research?
I might get to it in my notes.
Okay. MD Anderson, John Hopkins,
I think not
Mayo Clinic.
Not very far from Christiana, I'm sure. On Monday and Tuesday, January 26, 27, 1874, the story of a woman with a snake in her stomach appeared in the McMinnville and Nashville newspapers. Note this: physicians in the 1870s were apparently not bound by patient confidentiality.
HIPAA had no. It wasn't up then.
No. Treatments were tried to induce vomiting, salt water. Next tried starving the patient and starving the snake. He then gave Thankful a combination of coal oil, spirits of turpentine, carbolic acid in very large doses. Apparently both Thankful and her affliction survived the treatment. The snake and she survived these treatments. Berger, the doctor, theorized that the reptile could go down into the intestine and remain there while the medicines were being given. Finally, in 1874, Dr. Berger was summoned to the home of Thankful Taylor. The mother reported that she grabbed the reptile from Thankful's mouth and extracted it. It proved to be a living snake. Show that picture. 23 inches in length, with light and dark stripes and white abdomen. The patient commenced vomiting profusely, but expressed she felt relieved, like a great load had been removed from her stomach. Now,
how long did you say that snake?
23 inches in length.
Gone from when she swallowed it at 6 years old, was that right? And it's like a little string.
Like a thread or whatever in the water. And that wonderful spring water that she had tasted.
John, this story is either going to bring the conversation with John and Pat to absolute national acclaim, or it's going to finish us. There won't be any in between. Keep going.
In the handwritten documentation of the case prepared in 1874, August of 1874, Berger wrote, she has been relieved of all symptoms, and she had previous to the extraction of the snake. In fact, she seems to have been restored to perfect health. The 140-year-old specimen bathed in a preservative, a fancy little jar, is a quiet reminder of the media and professional furor caused by the 1874 case of Rutherford County woman with a snake in her stomach, the lady known as Thankful Taylor. And the band my brother played in, Thankful Taylor was the name of their band. They picked up sort of a odd type of name and an odd type situation.
It's been a challenge to make through that, John, and you accused me of and my wife has accused me of scratching my legs when I was nervous, but I'm going to tell you, when you got to the point there where the doctor could see two eyes of something in her mouth, that I had to clamp down on the seat to hold on where I didn't.
That would be so scary.
That would be awful.
That'd be awful. But it happened it's happened before, and it's happened probably afterwards, but Lord have mercy, I think if I drink water out of a hose, back in Chapel Hill they say hose pipe, I think I'm going to let it run a few minutes before I take a sip.
I'm going to make sure
a spider or something else inside there.
I'm going to go see one of my relatives in the medical profession next time I think I've swallowed something that feels like a thread. John, that probably wraps up 88.
Yeah.
And we've always referenced where the management let us come back. I imagine this program will definitely undergo a severe evaluation process from management. We hope we can come back.
Some people be saying the poor snake.
That's correct. Over and out,
there are a lot
maybe
of
for the last time, but hopefully
there.
not. Thank you all.
Bye.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello, I'm Gary Cordell, your Coffee County Mayor. 4 years ago, I made a commitment to the citizens of Coffee County that if elected, I would serve our county with honor and integrity. I pledged to work hard, to give 100%, to be effective and efficient in managing your county resources. I want to take this opportunity to assure the citizens of Tullahoma and Coffee County that our county's financial condition is much stronger now than when I came into office 4 years ago. We've had no property tax increase in the last 3 years, and we reduced our county debt by 11%, from about $80 million down to around $71 million. Our operating reserve fund balance has tripled, and we've improved the jail medical system to 24/7 medical care and saved the county around $1 million in the first 2 years. The most important question you must ask yourself when you walk into the voting booth is simply, who's best qualified to lead our county forward at this critical time? I have over 35 years business management and leadership experience to best lead Coffee County. With the experience and education gained in the last 4 years as your mayor, much has been accomplished, but we've only just begun. Coffee County, let's stay on track.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
If there chance to be, we should see some harder days. Empty harder days, white grouse. Always a chance to meet somebody. yourself. Our mates, we don't wanna have no fuss. For after some consideration, we can say, consider yourself one of us.
Great job. I am so blessed today to have students here, performers that are fixing to do Oliver at South Jackson Civic Center, and it opens this week. So I want to start by letting them introduce themselves as who they really are and then who they're playing in the play. And you're great.
Hi, my name is Eliza Griffey. I am playing Oliver in Oliver, and I go to Sewanee Elementary School, and I'm in 5th grade.
Thank you.
My name is Brennan Clarno. I am playing the part of the Artful Dodger, and I am in 8th grade, and I am homeschooled.
My name is Will Hastings. I play Charlie Bates in Oliver, and I'm in 7th grade, and I'm homeschooled.
My name is Kenan Brock, and I play Nipper in Oliver, and I'm homeschooled, and I'm in 6th grade.
And you are a fabulous group, and I just noticed when you were singing you had that great British accent. Was that hard to do?
The British accent is a little bit hard to do, but once you really practice it, watch videos on it, and do it almost every night, you get used to it.
You get used to it. And it's the accent, actually, it's a Cockney accent from Great Britain, and that's a little bit harder even than being British because they're just kind of clean with their diction.
For the Artful Dodger and some of the other Fagans gang, they have to do Cockney, but Oliver's really lucky because he's kind of used to high
educated,
society and he doesn't
educated.
do a Cockney. It's really
So,
Yes, the British accent, it's pretty fun. I quite enjoy it. So do you.
So the Artful Dodger, let's tell the people a little bit about your position in the play.
He's a very fun character. When I was really young, I watched the movie, and I've only seen it about once, but I just got really interested in the character, and I said, one day I want to play this character.
And you did it. And,
yes.
And it's exciting to have something you've looked forward to for a long time. Can you tell me when the play is?
It's 4
performances.
Yeah, 4 performances.
And it's at 2 o'clock on every days except
It's
7 o'clock and for every days except Sunday.
At Sunday, it's at 2:30.
Yeah.
It's at the South Jackson Civic Center in Tullahoma, July 12th through 15th. And
Yeah, so it opens this week. And if you're watching this on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, well, you still got a chance to go see it, but be sure you see it this week. And if you want tickets, www.southjackson.org or call 455-5321. I think it's great to get tickets online because, there it is, write it down. You can have the tickets in your hand and not have to stand in line. Do y'all expect a big crowd? I do.
Yes.
We're hoping. Tell me, we're hoping, you'll have a big crowd because it's a fun play.
Yep.
And I think it has a good moral to it.
It's a little bit dark, though. Warning
At times,
for smaller children. There are several deaths, and it's a little bit dark.
And the Fagin teaches you guys to
Pickpocket.
Pickpocket, yes.
I love that song. Pick a pocket or two. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
What got you interested in being in plays?
I just always loved it. I just always did. I used to always want to be on Disney Channel and stuff, and I always...
Well, you ought to be there. Every one of you should be there because you're fabulous. And in your parts, I know you have a lot of dialogue.
Yes.
Do you have any favorite dialogue that you do?
Well, in a song, in I'd Do Anything, I say a part where whoop fisticuffs, and I just really like that part.
You just like
of the
doing
song.
it?
Yeah, that's really my favorite.
That's sweet. Do you have a favorite song?
It's a Fine Life is my favorite.
I like that one. It's a fine life.
My favorite is not a song I'm in, actually. It's I Shall Scream, and they just do it so well, and it's hilarious.
Well, I'll look forward to seeing that because I've forgotten that. And I'll look forward to seeing it. Do you know who the director is?
Miss Erica.
Miss Erica.
And Tatum.
Anderson.
And
Tatum.
Miss Tatum.
Tatum is the
Miss Tatum.
Miss Tatum is the director, and Erica is
Miss Erica is
the music.
Is the music director, and she is wonderful. And Tatum is too. They do a great job, and I am so glad that so many young people are having the opportunity to do theater, and the fact that you guys are coming out and doing a part on our stage is wonderful, because you'll grow up and you'll stay there maybe. Erica has, she teaches at high school in Coffee County, and she's one of our main people at South Jackson Civic Center on the board and directing young. Any of you members of PACT, Performing Arts for Children and Teens?
No.
Did any of you grow out of that? Well, that's okay. Are any of you in summer camp? Or have you been in the summer camp there?
Once.
Once or twice.
Okay. Your interest in theater has come probably from performing. I know you've done stuff at the Mac Theater in Manchester. What was your last play?
Into the Woods.
I saw that.
I was in Into the Woods
Yes,
too.
of course you were. I
Yeah,
came,
sure.
and one of the days when I guess parents were there, and I came to see a student of mine, and I thought that was wonderful. I thought it was one of the finest young people's play that I've seen in a long time. And are you looking forward to opening night?
Yes.
Will you, I know it starts at 7 o'clock, so I'd encourage people to get there early and get tickets. And bring your mama, bring your daddy, bring everybody that you can think of to come to see this play, because giving these young people an opportunity to perform for an audience is a real rare treat. And I think you're going to find things a little different at the performance than it was at rehearsal.
Yes.
Crowds always react differently every
Yep.
show.
Every show.
It's
Once in a while you'll get a crowd that loves you, but they're just tired. They've been working all day and they might not be as alert and active.
Sunday crowd.
So that's when you have to push
Yep,
harder.
Sunday.
Don't ever let up. You just have to keep at it. All right, let's remind everybody that southjackson.org, 455-5321 to get tickets. Oliver, this week, July 12th.
12th through the 15th.
12th through the 15th. Don't miss it. Come and encourage these young people. Any last words?
Come see Oliver. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you. Good job. We'll be back with something.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Good morning, all you wonderful people in TV land. It's a nice day today, good and warm as usual, but it's good to be with you, and thank you, camera lady and gentlemen, for putting a good, clear, sharp, crystal, colorful picture on the screen. You know, we're all looking forward to the ice cream social tonight, July the 11th at 7:30 at South Jackson. That's always fun. That good old music that we all like to dance to and listen to for so many years is always a refreshing and relaxing and enjoyable evening. And it's so wonderful to bring back memories like that. And you remember way back and had the old early crank type phonographs, 78 RPMs, and they scratched, and you'd have to change the needle after every 2 or 3 records, and of course the most popular records would get worn out pretty quick, but they were interesting to listen to and to watch. And as time went on, then they put motors in the phonographs, and you just turn them on, and then they put volume controls on them, and they were great as the time went on, you know. And then the Nickelodeons came, and we spoke about the first Nickelodeon at the Candy Kitchen there in downtown Tullahoma. And music has meant so much to us for so long, and now with the tapes and CDs and things of that nature, you can just pick out whatever music you'd like to have and pop it in there and have volume control and tone control that makes it real worthwhile, which is a great convenience for the listeners. And speaking of conveniences, that's a subject we'd like to share a little bit with you. It's a never-ending subject, and we don't have the time now to cover all bases about convenience. But for example, you remember way back, some of you senior citizens, that we didn't have electricity, and had lamps and coal oil lanterns to do our work at night and to study by. And then with the oncoming of electricity, how wonderful it was to have electric lights in our home and businesses. And it was just such a wonderful thing that even the early radios were all battery operated in the 20s, and then with the coming of electricity, then they started making electric radios in the late 20s, early 30s, where you just push a button and turn a knob and turn in on your favorite program or your music, wherever it might be. It was so convenient to do that. And then the ladies of the house, the mamas that did the cooking and the sewing and the washing and all that sort of thing, how inconvenient it was to heat a great big black pot of water out in the backyard with a fire to get their laundry done, and the old washboard that they had to use. And then came the Maytag washer that had a gasoline motor on it, about a 3rd horsepower gasoline motor that would run that agitator in that washer, and they'd have a twin galvanized tub to rinse the laundry in. How inconvenient that was. And then they stepped on up to the Bendix and the Frigidaire and the Maytag automatic washers that are so wonderful to put your washing clothes and laundry in those tubs and put the detergent in and push the button. And boy, it was so wonderful for the ladies. And they still had to have a clothesline though. Guess what? Oncoming came the electric dryers and gas dryers, which was so wonderful for the ladies that had to do all that back-breaking chores of the inconvenience of doing laundry. And the same with cooking. They had to have a coal stoves or wood stoves to do their cooking. And we didn't mention it though, what would even an automatic washer do without hot water? Do you remember, or do you have you seen lately a whistling tea kettle on your stove? They're almost a thing of the past, but they had the whistling tea kettle to make hot water for tea and things in the kitchen to eat, and also for your wash tub to do your feet or do your laundry or do your Saturday night bath. The water that was heated in a tea kettle on the stove. And then what happened to make it so convenient was the 30-gallon galvanized tank that put pipes through your stove, a monkey heater or a cook stove in the kitchen that would heat your water, and to see if you had hot water night, you'd fill the tank to see, and when it got warm all the way to the top, then you had a 30 gallons of hot water that you could use, and that was wonderful. And there wasn't any gas about that time at all, but now you have gas water heaters, electric water heaters that supply you with all your water and hot water needs, which makes it wonderful. And as I said, we're not going to have time at this session, but I think we'll continue next week because there's a whole lot more to come. This is not the end of the story, and I want to tell you that there's a lot more conveniences and inconveniences that we all remember. So y'all have a good day, and we'll see you at the Ice Cream Social tonight. Thank you.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day he created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you! Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. I have a few 2017s left that have to go right now. Kia Forte, $14,994. Kia Optima, $19,971. And my question is, why buy your next Kia anywhere else?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited today to have one of our Tullahoma girls come back home, not to stay for good, but that might not be far away. Ann Bear Marshall, and she is here today to talk with us and to us about the Joe Moon Foundation. And welcome home, dear.
Thank you, John. It's
and
always
give
great
us
to
a little,
be back home.
give our buds out there a little short history of you and where you are and why you're where you are, real quick.
Okay. Well, I graduated from Tullahoma High School here in 1979. Grew up here, lived here my whole life. Went to the University of Tennessee, and then after I graduated there with a degree in Parks and Recreation, I've lived in East Tennessee, Upper East Tennessee for 20 plus years, and now I'm back in Nashville and Franklin area, Middle Tennessee, working for our Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation with Tennessee State Parks.
Oh, wonderful.
So my whole career has been in Parks and Recreation, and it's taken me all across the state and a lot of different
how cool
job
is that?
opportunities. So it's all because of Joe Moon.
All because of Joe Moon.
Exactly. Exactly.
Isn't that amazing? Joe and I were in the same class in high school. and we're friends forever and ever and ever. Amen. You know, and what a wonderful guy, but also what a wonderful character.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
sometime if you want to equate Tullahoma to Mayberry, you know, Joe is one of those stalwart characters that weaves the fabric of a small town.
Oh, you're so right. That's a good way to describe him, and that's kind of what his legacy has been too. You know, because he touched so many lives while he was living, and through his work with Parks and Recreation.
Oh, yeah.
That's his living legacy now, is to see how these kids have progressed and how they've gone on to do great things, all because of having Parks and Recreation in their life and having somebody that cares about them, like Joe did.
Well, before we get into the foundation, I told you I wouldn't do this, but I can't help myself right now. Joe was the kind of guy who worked his way up the ranks to the top of the list as director of Parks and Rec. Now, most people, when they get ready to quit at the top, they go away.
Mm-hmm.
Joe didn't go away. He stepped back down and stayed involved with the youth of our community without having to deal with all the politics and without having to deal with all the administration. He got to do what he loved to do, and that was touch the hearts of young people.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He was probably going to work all the way up until, well, I don't think he was ever going to retire.
No,
I mean, he had a retirement party, but then he went right back to work.
I love
like
it.
the next week.
I love it. So explain a little bit to us about and of course these will be available. This is a little flyer pamphlet about the Joe Moon Foundation. Explain a little bit to us about the foundation.
Okay. Well, the foundation was established just within this last year, right after Joe was tragically killed in the car accident a couple of years ago. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. There were some folks from the Parks and Recreation Department that talked to his sister Brenda about starting a scholarship fund at MTSU, and that's for students that would be majoring in Parks and Recreation. Well, there was also a group of us that wanted to do something here in Tullahoma that would carry on his legacy and his memory and do things that Joe would want done, things that he always did and things that he was always involved in through public recreation and the Parks and Recreation Department. So we thought that the foundation would be an excellent mechanism to make sure that kids and youth programming and special events would carry on, and that there would be a way that every child, K through 8, and even families could participate in these programs that were set up, that there wouldn't be anybody that couldn't participate due to lack of resources or any other reasons, that we wanted to carry on. Because Joe would keep pool passes in his pocket when he was at the community center. If there was a kid that couldn't pay to get in the pool, he'd hand them a pass and make sure they got to go swimming. He bought jackets and athletic shoes for kids just to make sure that they could participate in a sport, as he saw their potential. And he saw what they could do. And he did it very subtly and very, under the radar. And we thought we wanted something that we could contribute ongoingly to the Parks and Recreation Department that would allow the staff there to continue to do those things. So we established the foundation. It is a 501c3 organization registered with the state of Tennessee. We are still waiting for our tax ID number. It's been applied for, and we don't have that number in hand, but we should be receiving it any minute, any day now. It'll come. But we've started the fundraising part of the foundation so that we could start raising money to go to grants for the Parks and Recreation
That's
Department.
Wonderful.
We also hope maybe in the near future or sort of long term that we could also have a capital fund that would help the city budget and the Parks and Recreation Department budget to fund things like playgrounds or maybe a trail segment on the greenway. So we're also looking at long term maybe being able to do some capital projects in Joe's name here.
That's wonderful. You know, one thing that I hope, and I'm a little choked here. One thing that I hope is the person or people who are responsible for the decision making have Joe's vision.
Yes, and that
was the beautiful part of Joe.
Yes.
is what he could see.
Exactly.
And what his heart felt with connection with these kids that other people might not have been able to see.
Well, you're right, John, and I think that's going to be a little bit of a challenge just to keep that going and just making sure making sure we have the right board members on the board of the foundation. And then making sure the staff at the Parks and Recreation Department carries out that process that the board establishes. So, yeah, and that they understand that. And I think right now we do have people there that worked with Joe and that understand that vision. But we hope to perpetuate that and make sure that that happens.
Well, we thank you so very much for coming all the way from Franklin.
Well, I'm here all day. It happens to be the 4th of July celebration, and we're having a Joe Moon Foundation booth at Fraser McEwen Park.
That's right. Good for you.
So we'll be a part of that today, and then the first annual fundraiser event is coming up July 14th at London's.
Okay.
It'll be pretty much all day from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. with bands and a silent auction, and
great.
So we'll be raising money for the foundation that day. So we hope everybody.
That is just absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you for number one for your service.
Well, thank you, John.
And all the things that you've done and accomplished, but for this in particularly, and showing us your pretty face back here in Tullahoma again.
Thank you.
You don't need to be a stranger.
Home. I love coming home. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're looking for your retirement day where we can get you and not let you have to go away. Okay.
Well, hey, that's a possibility. So you never know. Thank you, John.
Appreciate
I enjoyed being
very
here.
Much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right. Peggy and I are talking about a woman with a snake in her stomach.
No, I'm just, oh my gosh. That just took me over the edge. Because I drank creek water.
Well, you know what?
I'm sure I did.
What I don't understand about that story, if a doctor saw his eyes inside of her mouth,
oh, please.
why didn't they cut a hole in her and get the damn snake out of her?
Oh.
1860. That's why they didn't have any way to put anybody to sleep other than hit them over the head with a hammer.
That is just. Anyway, I don't. That one got me.
That one got you?
Yeah, it did.
Well, the kids from Oliver were just outstanding.
They really were. They were just such a nice
If y'all
group.
don't go to see that after seeing them, you got a problem.
It's amazing to me how much talent we produce
in this town.
In this region.
Oh, yeah. And here's Ann sitting over there, my guest, Ann Bayer, who lives in Franklin and works in Nashville. When they started singing, she went, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, they were good.
So here's somebody that goes to the Frisk and goes to the Skirmerhorn and all these places, and she's listening to these people sing.
I went to Manchester Saturday and saw, Love something. Anyway, Samantha was in it, and other people.
Terrell Waters.
Yes. It was wonderful.
Well, good.
It was beautiful set, so well done. We're very fortunate in this region.
Oh, very much so.
Performing arts is alive and well.
All right, so Philip didn't have my picture ready, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to torture you again. Loku 171, burgers, dogs, baked beans and slaw, backyard beer, family and friends, veterans in service caps share old tales as the red, white, and blue flies on T-shirts, swim trunks, and tennis shoes. When the sun goes down, fireworks fill the air to God bless the USA, Independence Day.
That's a sweet picture. Did you draw it?
Yeah.
I like it.
Who is that? Is that a Van Gogh right there? Didn't he do one with all kinds of lights in the air?
It could have been
That's a Van Gray right there.
Van Gray, yeah.
Oh, me. Now, I love tinkering around with my color box, It's just fun.
And you're fabulous at it.
It just makes me happy. Somebody asked me, why do you do that? I said, because it makes me happy.
It makes you happy, and it gets your brain off of other trivial
stuff.
things.
And, you and only you can make this a good day for you. No matter what they throw at you, you can turn it into a good day for you. It just depends on what crap you're going to let stick and what crap you're going to let slide.
Happy 4th of July, by the way.
Happy 4th of July, and eat a hot dog and a hamburger, drink you some cold beer or some iced tea, eat watermelon, cantaloupe, baked bean slaw, all that good stuff. Go swimming.
And just have a good time.
Go to the fireworks show and be safe. Watch out for little ones out there.
You live in America.
They're running everywhere. Now we're going to go to the big time fireworks show to close today. Thanks. Happy 4th, everybody.
Arkansas,
California,
Colorado,
Connecticut,
Delaware,
Florida,
Georgia,
Hawaii,
Idaho,
Illinois,
Indiana,
Iowa,
Kansas,
Kentucky, Louisiana,
Maine, Maryland,
Massachusetts, Michigan,
Minnesota,
Mississippi,
Missouri, Montana,
Nebraska,
Nevada,
New Hampshire,
New Jersey, New Mexico,
New York,
Carolina,
North Dakota,